Stir It Up show, hosted by me, LaTanya Taylor. Well, now we have the opportunity to spend a little bit more time with Miss Yolanda Holmes. We want to talk a little bit more about the 3 books that you just talked about. Okay. But first I want to talk about I know your major in school, your passion was always writing and journalism, but what's really your inspiration to do that? I mean, we all go to school and we have a desire for something we want to do. And people change up by the time they get through college, majors change and things of that sort. But what really inspires you and what's kind of gotten you down this road?
Well, originally when I started college, I was a business major. Then I switched over to journalism. But I started writing when an ex-boyfriend, you know, he kept telling me, write this book. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I wasn't interested. I used to write, but I wasn't, you know, really pursuing it. Then after Nikki Turner came out, I was like, well, if she can do it, I can do it too, you know. Yeah. And that's when I started writing. But I never put anything out there because I'm my own worst critic. So it's like I kept writing and writing. That didn't sound right. Writing and writing, you know. Then I eventually finished it. Took me a while. And that's when I finished Money Over Everything. I mean, I've gone through so many.
How long ago did you write that? Because I remember us talking about money over something. And
yeah, titles
have been changed over the years. I have truly known Dee probably since 96, 94, 96, something like that time frame. And we've been good friends ever since. So I know the title has changed a few times.
Yes, 96. And it's changed. And I kept the characters the same. So hopefully when I get it out there, everybody will love MOE, Money Over Everything. I mean, it's dealing basically with 3 girlfriends, Shelby, Leisha, and Tawanda. I don't know where the names came from, so don't ask me. But, you know, as I was writing it, the 3 girlfriends, they grew up in Holland Park, and one of them meet this drug dealer, big-time drug dealer named Lee, and basically she starts to see that he's very ruthless, and he chooses money over everything, so...
I want to go back to the boyfriend you mentioned. When he talked about you writing, did he want you to write about him and his story and what was going on in his life, or y'all experience? Okay. I mean, I was just curious of where that point of view came from.
Yeah, he had a whole lot going on.
Okay.
So
was that inspiring for you to put something on paper or no?
At the time, it wasn't. Then after he passed, then I'm like, oh, dang. Should have got all the information in, but
would have saved you.
Right. So, you know. Yeah, he knew I could do it, but I just didn't believe in myself. So
what inspired you to keep writing? I mean, I know he mentioned that to you. He threw that out there, but where is it coming from?
It became an outlet for me because a lot of times if I can't say something that I want to say to someone, I'll write it down. And that's how I get a lot of my emotions across to people. So from then on, I just kept writing and writing. I mean, I've written a lot of some poetry and prose as well. I mean, I just can't stop now. It's just a part of me.
Yeah.
So
you started writing that book when?
I started writing that book probably I'm gonna say 2000.
Okay. When did you finish?
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming is it just coming unfocused? You know what?
Unfocused, not really knowing what the publishers are looking for, you know, and not knowing how to develop each character like they should be. So after reading a lot of, you know, I sent a couple of queer letters off, and a lot of them were turned down. So that's when I went back and said, okay, I'm going to do this over.
Yeah. So talk to me about the other 2 books.
Okay, the other 2 books, Learning to Embrace the Storm. I actually just finished that. I sent it to a publisher. Hopefully I'll hear something back. But that's dealing with a lot of my trials and tribulations from when my sister was in a car accident, her being in a coma, from everything, even me dealing with my illness. So it's just, I just want people to know that even though you're dealing with storms, big or small, God is always there. So to keep the faith regardless.
Yeah. All right, so the 3rd book is now going into kids. I'm assuming, because what I'm hearing from you is you're going through different, it sounds like you're going through different phases in your life.
Right.
You know, from, you know, being a younger girl and experiences you've had, whether it's, you know, in the streets or people that you've been around, and then you moved on to, okay, the challenges that I've had to overcome.
Right.
And, you know, then it comes into, I know you're a mother.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful, beautiful daughter. So I'm sure there's some inspiration that comes from her that's gotten you to writing about the children's books. So I'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I've written children's books for both my kids.
Yeah.
Alexa's book is called Hey Little Red because she's red.
She's red.
And my son, his name is Calvin, so that's titled Hey Cal. And like I said, he's just so animated. I had to write something down. He had to either be a cartoon character or something. You know, he's just that animated. Who climbs walls? I mean, he actually climbs a wall.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to put this down. So I just started writing this 12 books in a series called Hey Cal.
Yeah.
So I sent that off too, and waiting to hear something back. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, what we're going to do, we got an opportunity to hear about the 3 books that Yolanda has had the opportunity to write. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with the Stir It Up Show. Thank you.